Can I go to every haunted house and rank them here at Cedar Point in a 4-hour stretch? Well, that's our quest for tonight. So I hope you're ready to be scared, and I hope you're excited. Let's go! I'm coming into Cedar Point at night for Halloweekends today. Cedar Point skyline right in front of me here. I'm definitely excited to get going. Today we're going to be finishing up as many of the rides and haunts as we possibly can here at Cedar Point. Wow, it is crazy empty tonight. Oh my word, look at this. Like, we are not even up to the lookout tower. Not even close. We're like at least 3 full rows behind it. This might be the perfect night to hit all of the haunted attractions. First on our shows that I have not seen yet is the Witch Sisters. They're right here, and they make fun of you from up here on the balcony. So we're gonna find this, so we're gonna check this out right now.
Looks more like a train wreck. We have a train here, though. Hello. Oh, look at me wearing flannel at the fall time. So original.
Apparently they don't like my flannel.
Yeah, the poor little Herb. What did Herb ever do to you?
Oh, poor Herb.
All right, so the Witch Sisters Insult Emporium. Insult Emporium. It's hard to say. It's fine. I'm just bad at words. Absolutely fun. Not a like must do. You don't need to stay for the entire time. Even just in the time that I was there, you know, like 2 or 3 jokes is enough to hold you over on that one. Our next place is right in front of me, right here, and it is the Haunting at Erie Estate.
Don't wait another minute. Call the society, the Sandusky Paranormal Society.
It does have a fairly long freight lane, so we'll see how long this line actually is, but that's where I'm headed next. I do think that tonight may have been a stroke of luck for me on a night that's a little bit colder, fewer people here, and maybe we can actually get all of these haunts done in one night. Because I've had a few people ask about what my ranking would be about the most scary attractions. And I don't know yet because I haven't done them. So let's try to figure it out tonight. Doesn't seem like a terrible line in comparison to what I have seen even this year, but especially in past years. Because this has been entirely full in the past. So this looks pretty decent to me. Let's go.
Alrighty, attention all Cedar Point guests and Halloween enthusiasts. Cedar Point would like to remind everyone that line jumping here at the park is prohibited. Once again, line jumping will not be tolerated as grounds for removal of the park. Line jumping includes, but is not limited to, getting out of line to get a drink.
Looks like it's gonna have been about 21 minutes before we got into here.
My name is Frankie, and I'm here
he's
with
going
the
into a
Sandusky
spiel
Paranormal
right
Society.
now. All right, so the Haunting at Erie Estates, it's basically the same as it was before it was called the Haunting at Erie Estates, even though it is being advertised as a new house. It is very fun. There were actually some really cool new scenes. One with a hallway that I really liked that was quite a bit unsettling, but is also really cool. I'm going to be ranking these on theming, on fun factor, and on scares. Obviously for all 3 of these right now, this is number 1. We'll go to others and then we'll continue ranking them from that point. But at this point, I mean, as far as the theming goes, it was really fun. It was, like I said, some new scenes I thought were really fun to see. So if you've been in this one before, it may be worthwhile to check out. But also just the inside is beautiful. It looks like an old house. And to me, I love that kind of theming. It really is pretty. There is a little bit about a Ouija board. As a Christian, for me, I'm a little bit unsettled about a Ouija board. I know all of Halloween is just kind of, you know, creepy and haunted and all that kind of stuff. Anytime I hear about a Ouija board, I don't love it. But there also was some new technology that I thought was really cool. Also a few lighting effects that are new that I really enjoyed. As far as the fun factor, like I was smiling the entire time. It was definitely fun. There wasn't a boring moment at all. And as far as the fear factor goes for it, it wasn't that scary. Nothing is here at Cedar Point, at least not for me, not at this point. Because I've done these things so much, I've just kind of desensitized myself from it. But obviously, it's #1 on the scare factor right now. If other ones scare me more, then I will let you know. And hopefully you guys can gauge for yourself which ones you may want to do if you want less scares or more scares for yourself. Anyway though, let's go to our next haunted attraction. Right now we are going to a haunted attraction that I have already been to. I actually wanted to stop and get something here at this cart. They had no line just a minute ago. Obviously they have a line now, but I wanted to show that this exists here also. I'm sure I will be able to find another place where I can grab a drink at some point this evening. They do have the kids attractions going this Thursday night. They don't have the kids Halloween stuff going, however. I'm kind of having to backtrack a little bit for this attraction. I didn't want my first attraction to be a haunted house that I've already done. And I'm glad I didn't decide to do that because I got to go see the Witch Sisters, which exists right over there on top of the Coliseum. And I was able to go see the Haunting at Erie Estates, which I have not done yet this year. But now I'm having to kind of waste a little bit of time coming down this way, and then I'll have to go back toward all the other haunted attractions at the back of the park. This one is a bit more hidden though, and I think a lot of times that garners it smaller lines. So we're gonna see what we can do with this tonight, how quickly we can get on it. Now, you saw how short that first line was for the Haunting at Erie Estates. That line takes a very long time because they let limited quantities of people in at a time into the Haunting at Erie Estates. It is one to remember, especially if you have a much longer line than that. It is going to be a long line. Brace yourselves for it. Get a drink, do something to make it a bit more manageable for you. And our next haunted attraction is Hexed. I love Hexed. I've already ridden this once this year when I came here with Nathan. Looks like it has a substantially longer line, but it looks like it may not be terrible. So let's go. Oh yeah, it's not that bad at all. This will be decent. Not terrible at all. It's just they've opened up the entire line, so you have to walk all the way around, but gives you great views of Gatekeeper. Still though, look at all this line. This is awful to have to walk through. 5 minutes here for Hexed. That was not a long line at all, but we did meet some friends. Patrick was on a video that I'm gonna release literally tomorrow, so let's go. All right, so I would say that the theming for Hexed was actually less fun than Erie Estates. Erie Estates has a much better theme, although I am noticing the storyline is very big in both. So the storyline here is that there are a whole bunch of witches in basically a coven. They don't want you to come in, and they're trying to force you out. That's why they're trying to scare you. In the same way, the Haunting at Erie Estates was about Erie Estates now having some issues with haunts, some shadows that are unexplained, things like that. And they brought in a Ouija board in order to find out what the haunts want, basically. And then the Ouija board starts going crazy, and that is then the start to your scares for the haunted house. Basically, as far as theming goes, I definitely liked the Haunting at Erie Estates better. However, as far as fun and as scares go, first of all, I had 3 jump scares in there that definitely got me. So I recognize that. There were also about 3 or 4 parts that made me giggle throughout it. One part where there was this witch who says, "We don't want you here." I don't know, it's the little things, you know? Anyway, I loved it. It was fun. Let's go. Tonight I feel bad for them about their bare midriff costumes. It is too cold for that. That's too much skin. All right, I got a beer for a long walk to the back of the park. Let's try it. Okay, yeah, it's really good. I'm spilling it everywhere though, so I better. Ugh, sometimes those reflexes just get me. It is really good though. Okay, so I gave like the worst review of this beer ever because all I said was it's good. So let's actually talk about it a little bit. It does have kind of a light flavor. It's definitely like a blonde ale kind of a taste. Definitely good. I got the Flight. This is the Yuengling Flight. Of course, a beer is a beer. I mean, some of them are obviously much darker tasting. Some of them are much lighter tasting, all that kind of stuff. This is one of the lighter ones. I like them lighter. I like them fruitier. Don't at me in the comments. And we are on our way into Banished right now. Warning, nightmares ahead. This is all the scares of Cedar Point right back here. Okay, so next is Blood on the Bayou. Right here, enter and exit. Come down this way. There's Blood on the Bayou right in front of me. Now, Blood on the Bayou is really fun. I don't know if they'll let you bring in a beer or not. I'm gonna drink this as fast as I can. But we'll see what happens. There's nobody here to tell you not to, I suppose. So it is a long walk back, and we'll see when the haunts actually start. So let's go. Now here's the confusing part. You need to go to the right. You come into the left, but then you change to the right, and then the people leaving go to the left, leave to the right, and then they change to the left. feel like that's a little bit problematic. Looks like it says Blood on the Bayou to the right, so we take this up. The entire thing is just a little bit confusing, I'm not gonna lie. It is better lit than it was before. Last year it was not lit at all. And as long as you can read, you can figure out where you're going. But it's not like very clear. And there's another sign here that says enter to the left to go into Blood on the Bayou. As we've talked about before, there is also a center entrance and a side entrance on to this area, which used to be or would be the Forbidden Frontier in the normal season. It did not take any time at all, except for no wait in the line at all, except for just to walk back here to get to Blood on the Bayou. So we're here now. We enter over this way, so let's go. Also, the camera has to go away, so it's going in my pocket right now. All right, I placed Blood on the Bayou at second place after the Haunting at Erie Estates for theming, because it is very well themed, especially in one part in particular, which is like a trailer park, but if that trailer park had never like seen the light of human civilization ever before, at least not in like years and years and years. So that was definitely a fun thing, and I just spotted something really creepy here. It's unintentionally creepy, but look at that huge spider. I don't want to kill it, but it's right there. I also placed Blood on the Bayou at second place, but after Hexed for scares, and also for fun. For scares, it's because I think there was just one time when someone legitimately did scare me, but that was more than I had at the Haunting at Erie Estates. Also for fun, there was one person, the very first person I saw, she was there by herself and I was walking by myself, And she walked up to me and goes, "Are you wearing white pants?" And guilty as charged. She said, "Are you wearing white pants after Labor Day?" With like a very deadpan face on. And I was like, yeah. And you know what? that ranks it up a bit in my book. The worst thing about this thing though is the amount of time that you waste walking through the line. You just have to walk on the way back, which is just, it's a drag. Let's just be honest, it's a drag. All right, so they said this was a 35-minute wait. I didn't believe them, but that is definitely a 35-minute wait. So they also said you cannot exit through the roadkill buffet. You can, however, exit through here. They didn't tell us that, but I'm assuming so. So I'm headed through there and then through here to get out of here today. I'm assuming this will get a shorter line later on in the day. Or in the evening. So I'm not gonna wait in this right now, especially since they are warning people up the front how long this line is. So instead, we are headed out to our next area where we can do a little haunt and we can rank it also. Look out below.
Oh my God!
Looks like we might be headed into Cornstalkers next. This does not look like a terribly awful line. And I have a feeling that's why they're warning people about the roadkill buffet, because I have a feeling it has an inordinately long line in comparison to the rest of the park right now. So instead, Cornstalkers it is. We're gonna hit that really fast here. Oh yeah, this is looking real good. Now, in past years, Cornstalkers has gotten one of the longest lines here at Cedar Point. Maybe that's different this year. Maybe it has worn out its charm. I do think that Cornstalkers is one of those scare zones or scare mazes that is definitely overrated or has been overrated in past years. Now, with the line that I'm seeing right now, doesn't look like it's overrated. This looks like it's very possibly the right size of line. You also can check out the Telltale Heart right over here for an active demonstration of Edgar Allan Poe. And right here is where our full line actually begins. You can't even see it because it is so dark here, but you can see the swings right over there. Yeah, this will not be a long line at all. I've walked for about 2 minutes right now. This does take place inside the line and inside the track / waterway of Thunder Canyon. Looks like this will be about a 15-minute wait to get onto Cornstalkers. All right, Cornstalkers is complete, and after going through all of that, I'm gonna give that a solid 4 for all 3 of the categories that I have done. It's not that great. It's definitely the worst theming. I mean, it's just corn all around you. Now, I will say, if you are afraid of like small spaces, then you're definitely going to find that much scarier and much more unsettling, because it does feel like things are grabbing for you. You know, it gives the illusion that things are grabbing for you. Plus, some of the scare actors or the screamsters, I guess they're screamsters here. I was told that last time. Sometimes the screamsters will get like really close to you because you have that proximity with the corn, and you can't tell that they're going to be there. So they'll be like right here next to you, talking in your ear. However, because of the way it's set up, there's also less of a chance that you're going to run into the same person multiple times. So it feels like there are very, very few screamsters in there to scare you. One thing I really like is that you get to see the inside of the barn where they store the animals at night and during the winter. So that's definitely something that is fun for me as someone who just likes, you know, the way things look and the feel of things around you. So you do have that. You get a little bit of atmosphere in that way. Also, the fact that you get to walk through the area where Thunder Canyon is, one of my favorite rides for real here at Cedar Point. If the fact that you get to walk through that is definitely something that I really enjoy. Once again, though, still ranking it at a 4. There were times when I caught myself just looking at the pattern that the smoke was making in the air because I was just bored walking through this maze. So it's not my favorite one. Nothing that I hate. Still fun to do. I do hate it if I have to wait in a 2+ hour wait for it. Luckily tonight, it was like a 16-minute wait, something like that. So that's not much of a problem. So let's go. Now it is time to finish up this scare zone. One thing that I will alert you to also is that some of the mazes and the haunted houses this year do have height restrictions. You also cannot take strollers onto them for kids. So either way, something for you to know about beforehand. It does explain it on the sign, but a lot of people don't just read every sign, myself included. Also, once again, going to talk to you about Midnight Elixirs. It looks really fun, always seems to have a big line. So that's why I haven't been there yet, because I think they have the same drinks there that they have pretty much anywhere else that you would want to go here at Cedar Point. Frontier Trails Scare Zone also does receive a solid 5, last place for all of them. Now, of course, if you're not used to scares, all of this is going to be scary to you no matter what. I've been here before, I've done all this before, and I've done other scare areas before also. So now we have some fantastic singing happening over here, and that's at the karaoke, Scareoke. There's a name for it, I don't remember what it is. But we're gonna check that out really fast. It is Scareoke. Another place where you can get a beer or some other kind of drink if you would like one. And we are off to our next haunted house. Pirate Cove could be another option for me to go to right now, but that is not a place that I'm going to head to at this moment because it's going to take me back up toward the front of Frontier Trail. We also have a show going on right here. I'm not sure if it's going right now or not. If it's going, we're just gonna go see a minute of it. If it's not, we're gonna move right on past. So let's head into Lusty Lil's theater, just see what's happening. Oh yeah, it's not up right now. Evidenced by, oh, you can't see it on the screen. There's a little rope here. So it'll be going later on. I would love to, I always would love to, but I do have other priorities today. One of those priorities is back here. It is somewhat out of the way, and it is a new one for this year. Yeah, it is called the Bloodbath Club Orpheus. That's where we are headed right now. I don't even know if you can see it. There it is. Inside the bounds of Steel Vengeance, which is also part of the fun of the scare zone every year. Although it has been a different scare zone every year. Last year it was Deprivation. The year before that it was definitely something different. And this year we're going to a club that's got some creepy crap going on in it. So let's go. Also a great place to check out as Steel Vengeance goes by. Oh my word, and it's literally nothing. I'm like, is it closed down or what? I don't even know how you get it. Oh, you get into it back here. Oh. Okay, so I went in the exit, guys. And like I said, if you can read, you can know where to go. I apparently cannot. It says entrance ahead. I was too enamored by Steel Vengeance. Wow, I think this is new. I don't think they've had this ever before. I don't even know if this pathway existed before or not. Oh, and you can see the club lights going too. Man, nobody knows about this. All right, that was fun. I think there are 3 other sides to that, but you definitely have people who are in clubs, like dressed like they were in clubs while they're in there, but of course like makeup and bloody faces and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually gonna go again because it was like literally a no-minute line. I walked right up to where it was time to go. And then also, I think there are different paths that you can choose. So I'm gonna see if there's a different path. I'm not sure if that's true. It was true with Deprivation. I'm not sure if it's true with this one. So we're gonna go try it and see what happens if I try a second place to enter. Even if there isn't a second place to enter, it'll still be fun just to walk through it again. And why not when it's this short of a line? Ranking will come very soon. All right, so the story is that a nightclub has been taken over by a bunch of zombies. There is only one path, and it was a very, very short line, and you can walk through it pretty quickly. The second time through, I danced the whole way. It was awesome. It's definitely a fun haunted house. It's probably not one of my favorites, so I haven't ranked it yet. All right, so for Bloodbath, for theming, I gave it number 1, which is a surprise to me. Honestly, probably for theming, it probably deserves number 2. Well, I don't know. It's new. It's something different. It's very, very simple. There's not actually that much in it. There's definitely some fun stuff that they do with variety as you walk through, and I don't want to spoil it for you, so I'm not going to, but definitely enjoyable. The story is like I said, a nightclub that's been taken over by zombies, and there's some surprises as you walk through. Also, you have some fun, it's very, very simplified, but it is fun. Like, people are dancing while you walk in and stuff like that. It's not scary at all, and that comes with my next point. I gave Bloodbath number 4 after Erie Estates 4 scares, and that's because like Frontier Trail has not been scary at all, and Cornstalkers was not scary at all. It's, again, not one of the scariest houses at all. As a matter of fact, I would say it's one of the least scariest houses that you can get. The other 2 were trails and, of course, the scare zone. But it is a different kind of experience that I think is very enjoyable, regardless. And there's a few scares here or there. I had one person who really got me my second time around, and it was my second time around. So you still have some people. Now, I was also walking by myself. They don't always send me by myself, but for some reason, these people wanted to send me by myself each time. So I went by myself, which was scary, but it was also very fun. Speaking of fun, Bloodbath was given number 1 for me for fun. It's just one that I really enjoy, that I think is hilarious, and that really makes me laugh every single time. Walking through, like I said, the second time through, I danced like the whole way through. And they joined me because they'd seen me go through before. Like I said, I thought there was a second place where I could actually walk like to the right or to the left. That is not an option in there, but it's still very fun. It's a repeatable, fun thing to do, and especially if you have a large group where you just want to go like dance your way through the thrills, like it's probably worthwhile. It'd be pretty fun in that way. You might actually even dance with people. Now you can't touch them, so I would not do that. But you can just like stand next to them and kind of gyrate. You know, you can do that. Now on our way back through, let's see, is Lusty Lil's open for people to start lining up or not? I'm not sure if they will be, but let's go see. I don't really even know if Lusty Lil's is actually running shows tonight or not, so we'll have to see. Nope, the rope is still up. The amount of smoke is definitely reminiscent of Wild Frontier nights. right here. All right, so we only have 3 more scare zones to go through on our way back up to the front, slash to come back to go see Lusty Lil's. We have an hour and a half. Now, I'm not sure, they may not have any more performances of Lusty Lil's, but I think we can easily get that done in the last hour here. So I'm gonna check out what we actually have. Oh, it looks like they're letting people into Lusty Lil's right now. So it may be time to go to the bathroom and then to check out one show of Lusty Lil's while I'm here. Yeah, they've opened it up. We might as well, because we'll be able to hit both of those very quickly right at the end of the night. We only have the Fairground Freak Show to do, and then we also have one last thing in the Roadkill Buffet. So that should be, with both of those, that should be very manageable for us to not have to spend a ton of time going to. All right, so into Lusty Lil's we go for our next show. We're not going to hit every show tonight though, but we are going to hit one full show this evening here at Lusty Lil's. And they have it set up a little bit differently. They've put more chairs in here. It must be really popular right now, which is awesome. I am always glad to see more shows being more popular. All right, that show is actually not going for another 15 minutes. So right now, instead of waiting 15 minutes and then watching a show, which will be end up being about 45 minutes altogether, I'm going straight over to Pirate Cove. We're gonna at least hit that. All right, Pirate Cove never fails with the booty jokes. Lots and lots of booty jokes when you're at Pirates Cove. One guy said, "You would make a great addition to the team." I mean, he said it more like, "You would make a great addition to the team, to the crew. Plus there's booty in it for you." And you know, that was a new one, and I respect it. I respect it. I haven't ranked it yet. Let's figure it out. I gave Pirate Cove first place for theming. It's really fun to walk through the area, first of all. Just simply having Maverick up above you and being able to watch it go by is definitely fun. Also, the theming that they have is really good. Like, it's just fun to see big pirate ships and all that kind of stuff. There's also lots of little places for people to hide behind you. Bringing me to scares. As far as scares go, I did give it number 2. Again, nothing is that scary here, at least not if you've gone through it before. But there is a ton of fog. I mean, they fill the area with fog. You don't know what's coming. One time, I actually walked into a building because there was so much fog. So, like this time, several people got me. One guy just got me simply by putting his hand right in front of my face and pulling it back. There's just little things that they can do that scare you because you can't see more than about this far in front of your nose, which is definitely fun. You can see enough just to kind of move your way along slowly, but because you have to concentrate so much to walk, it does get a little bit scary. Again, nothing's that scary. If you're used to scares, you're not going to be horribly scared, but if you're not used to scares, there's a lot of stuff that's going to get you. Like I said, a lot of these people have gotten me in a little bit in each of them. And for fun, I gave it 4th place. There were a few that I found to be more fun, like Erie Estates, even like the new club room that they have. Those were hilarious to me. I had a lot of fun with those. It's better. It's not good enough yet. That is not a terrible line. It's just I have Lusty Lil's waiting for me. Although it's not actually Lusty Lil's. It's actually Wake the Dead, a murder mystery musical. But I'm never gonna remember that. We all know Lusty Lil has my heart. So I like anything in her building is Lusty Lil's. That's just the way it be. I don't have to see Wake the Dead, a murder mystery musical, but I do really want to. Also, if this is your first video of mine for Halloweekends, you can see the Nobu necklace right here in front of me. Nobu necklaces mean that the screamsters will probably not scare you. they're not supposed to scare you. So you can pick up one of those for you or for your family if there's someone very sensitive to scares. All right, so there's no line here at all. So we're gonna check this out before we head to Lusty Lil's, even though it is 11 o'clock right now. But this line won't take almost anything. So it's worthwhile.
How was it, friends?
To stand in line for it right now.
You got all your popcorn
while we
mess?
can.
Oh wait, sure.
This is nothing. So this is definitely a worthwhile use of our time, especially considering that shows are not our emphasis tonight. As much as I may love Lusty Lil's, just can't always choose it.
Movie cameras, who's what's inside? Must remain secret, so put all devices in your pocket.
And now 10 minutes in to Lusty Lil's starting, we're gonna go check the rest of the show out, which that's not bad at all. That took me 10 minutes to get in line and to walk through. Really less than that. It was about 7 minutes because I got there at about 11:03. So definitely worthwhile. Look at this line for Maverick. Nothing, just up the stairs, that's all. These Thursday nights are gems if you can get here. If you want to ride rides, if you want to see the scares, if you want to do any of the things here at Cedar Point, other than kids stuff. And even then, kids rides are open, but if you wanted to do like the kids Halloween activities, you can't do those. But other than that, everything is available to you here on Thursday, especially for adult stuff. And we are on our way in to Wake the Dead, a murder mystery musical. Let's see how many people ended up in here for this show.
Certainly suspect. But let's move on to our next suspect, the lovely Buffy.
Baby.
Whatever. All of mine.
I'm not gonna stop. So why don't you go ahead and jump? Jump!
Clearly, my client.
Jump!
Clearly, my Clearly, my client decided to pull out and leave him without his financial backing.
So happy for the rest of my life. Will you take me away? Will you make me your wife? Do you love me? Will you love me forever? Do you need me? Will you never leave me? Would you make me so happy for the rest of my life? Will you take me away? Will you make me your wife? I gotta know right now. Before we go any further, do you love me? Will you love me forever? She won't sing the song if she reads all the lyrics. Should pity the men I know. So you're a tough guy, like you really rough.
right, that is truly a fantastic show. I have loved everything that they've done at Lusty Lil's in the past 3 years, but that show is quite honestly very superior. It's got great music. It's definitely one of the like more contemporary, newer feeling type of shows. It has a lot of newer music that people are going to like, especially younger people also. The costumes are really fun. It's definitely more edgy. You've got a lot more skin on the stage and stuff like that. I've noticed that more with Cedar Point shows. But either way, they seem to be attracting very large audiences. And I'm glad to see that Lusty Lil's is getting the attention that it needs and that it deserves. So instead of going up to the front of the park, I'm gonna hit this haunted house one more time. Back here, the club haunted house, just because I know it has such a short line. And then I'm gonna go up to Roadkill Buffet and hit that. We might even go through Pirate Cove one time along the way. So come along, let's go. Now, like I showed before, go past the sign to where it says entrance ahead. Do not go back behind stage. Just go over here. Actually though, we're gonna watch it come by. It is definitely a great close-up view of Steel Vengeance. One that I think is always here, but you're not usually gonna walk all the way back here. Also, what a view of Steel Vengeance. Man, and literally no one is in line. No one, not a single soul, except for these people right in front of me. One thing I particularly love about the club, besides that they'll dance with you, which they did again this time, they were like, just stay with us, just stay with us. But something that I really like about that is that there is a picture, there's a wall of pictures of all the victims, and it's all the people that are in the house. So you can see their pictures on there, and it's like asking, like, have you seen these people? Which I think is really fun. So definitely, like, the details are the fun part of all of these different houses. Now, this is the perfect place to cut through to get up toward the front. So to get to the Roadkill Buffet, we're gonna cut through here because it's just more fun, and we're gonna go on our way. Let's go. And I've got about 10 minutes now for Roadkill Buffet. So that's where we are headed next, or I think it's the Slaughterhouse. We'll see if we can make it back to the club one more time tonight, because I would do that if it's a really short line, but I have a feeling this is just going to be our last thing. Yeah, Slaughterhouse. No one is over here, but there are quite a few people coming in with us. All right. I think that was the best one of the night. I'm not gonna lie, I think that one was the best one of the night. It's good when you save the best one for last. Before I finalize my ranking though, I think I can go back to the shortest wait for my favorite fun haunted house. And so we're gonna head back to Bloodbath one last time. And everything just turned off. So I'm not thinking I'm gonna be able to get back there. I'm gonna walk back there and just see if any of the fun characters I've seen are walking by, or if I can get in. But I'm gonna assume it's a no-go for me. But I'm not in line for anything, and I can head straight out to get home this evening. Yep, and no one is back here. The lights are off. It is all done. I had a blast this evening here at Halloweekends. Like I said, I can't recommend coming to Thursday night Halloweekends enough. Like, this is definitely the place to be because you can do tons of rides, you can do tons of shows, you can do tons of everything on Thursday night. Like I said, other than kids stuff. I mean, like the kids Halloween specialty stuff. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Please press that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. It was a toss-up for me between Pirate Cove and Slaughterhouse for the best theming. However, I did decide to go with Pirate Cove. Just the whole idea of having Maverick right there to your right where you can see it go by. You have these massive set pieces that they've built for people to enjoy as you're walking through, and all of that extra fog that's out there in the night. It just makes it so much better for me. So that one does win theming. However, Slaughterhouse is an incredible theme. It is very, very good, very much worthwhile to go check it out. As far as scares go, scares were #1 for me. Like, that Slaughterhouse worked perfectly for scares. I walked in so confident and was just like, yeah, no, nothing can scare me. No, they did several times, and they did it without fog. So it's definitely worthwhile. As far as scares go, Slaughterhouse definitely, I think, is top of the line. As far as fun goes, I did have a ton of fun in Slaughterhouse. Of course I did. There were some people behind me who were having a blast too, and it was definitely good to be able to see all of that. However, I definitely had much more fun with Bloodbath. That whole club experience, just it's so campy, it's so stupid, it's so silly, but it's a blast. And I just can't get enough. Like I said, I want to bring a group here and actually go through it a couple times together and, you know, party it up. Like, because that one was definitely worthwhile. But it's definitely fun to do. But either way, Slaughterhouse is a blast. I still had it at #2 for the most fun house. So I think overall, Slaughterhouse wins by pretty much a landslide. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a blast here today doing all of these. And like I said, Thursday nights, it's the perfect time to come. Thank you all for watching, and let's go. So is it possible to do every single haunted house here at Cedar Point in 4 hours? Well, I think the answer is yes. With enough planning and on a Thursday night here at Cedar Point, I think you could do it. It did take quite a bit of doing, but I was also able to get a show in also, really 2 shows in. Plus, I was also able to do, let's see, 3 extra times on Bloodbath and 1 extra time in Pirate Cove. So that ends up being 8, 9, 10, 11 haunted houses that I was able to do. That's incredible.